So why is the House of Innovation supporting Digital Day? And we are delighted to support the Digital Day initiative because its essence is very much in line with the House of Innovation's disciplinary profile and interests in digital technologies, using innovation and entrepreneurial capabilities to empower individuals, organisations and society to really create societal change in an active, responsible, but also sustainable manner. So to get the discussion started, we will now turn to Jacob Wallenberg, who will share his views about why today is so important. I'm delighted to welcome Jacob Wallenberg. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we just start by having a conversation, really. Is that okay with you? And I've got some questions here if we run through those. So why is digitalization and digital transformation relevant for the country and for the development of society at large?
Well, Sarah, you know, that's of course what today is all about, digital idag. That is what life is all about today, digitalization. We all see it, we all not only read about it, because it's part of our day-to-day lives, really. And we're talking about digitalization, but in reality it stands for so many different things. It's artificial intelligence, it's IoT, it's 5G. There's so many facets to this. The point is, we are a society that is quite advanced from a technological point of view. And digitalization is pushing us. And it's also pushing our competitors out there in the world. So we, as a nation and as business people, have to be on the forefront if we are going to be competitive. And so, to me, today is a truly important day where we elevate this, put it on the table, digitalization, to the business people, the ones that work with it on a day-to-day basis, but hopefully to society at large. So we engage the whole society. So we all can sort of engage in, why is this important for me as an individual? And my sincere belief is that this is, if we don't get our act together, it's a bit like when Sweden took the first initiative in the world to allow for personal computers in the families, tax deductible. It was a great initiative about 25 years ago or so. And that means that all young Swedes became computer literate. It's the same idea. Now we all have to become digital literate, and it goes for everyone. Because if we all embrace this, we can be on the forefront of the development curve. Sweden will be more competitive, and society can prosper.
Which is fantastic engagement as well, isn't it?
Don't you think?
Yes. So if I move to my next question, is that okay?
Fine.
So why is Digital Day important specifically? What's the kind of key thing for you that will come through from today or that you hope to see today?
You know, it's interesting. The idea of the Digital Today comes from Switzerland, where we learned that they have this since 3 or 4 years back. And society comes out one day per year. You get together at universities, at the local railroad station, at the mayor's office, in corporate head offices, what have you. But it's directed at all of society. And the idea is exactly as I was pointing to engage everyone, to have an opportunity to learn a bit more. What is all of this about? I mean, to me, digitalization as a normal person, it's something very distant and maybe even dangerous. And we're trying to say, no, it's an opportunity. AI, we're talking in society about that AI is something that's going to cut out jobs, right? Yeah. And I'm trying to say, no, it's going to create new jobs, but different jobs. Yeah. And the whole idea is that you have to engage in this, learn about this, and in order to see the opportunity. And I think Digital idag should offer exactly that opportunity, sort of open the eyes of many people and have them engaged.
So it is about embracing and collaborating to bring about that change.
Exactly. And not only you and me that work with this on a more or less daily basis, but a much broader exposure of the Swedish society.
Which is lovely.
Yes. if it works.
Yeah, it will. So why are the foundations, and Jacob, you personally involved in innovation processes across the country? And again, in things like today.
No, but the Wallenberg Foundations has for over 100 years had a focus on what can we do to support Swedish society. The Swedish word landsgagnligt, for the betterment of the country. And we've always supported research and education at university level. So it's heavy duty stuff, right? Yeah. We believe that the whole development around digitalization is such a fundamental piece. So we've gone in and supported very particular areas that touches digitalization. So we have a number of different programs, all kinds of abbreviations. WASP, the Wallenberg Artificial Intelligence Autonomous System, which engages a number of universities and with some very serious money to run the whole research effort. Or WASP HS. HS stands for Humanities and Society, i.e. all of this that's happening will affect us as individuals also. What does that mean? What can we do about that from a research point of view? And we've participated in forming a company called Combient. Combient brings in Swedish and Finnish companies that want to come together, brainstorm around how can we develop digitalization in our company, listening to our peers and learning from each other. And a company called Amexi, which focuses specifically on 3D printing. But the whole idea is, these are examples of what we support, right? The idea for us is that we believe, and when I say us, it's for the Wallenberg Foundations and the Wallenberg family, we believe that digitalization and the whole question of the environment are two fundamental questions for society as we move forward. Not only in Sweden, but for the world. But our job is to support Sweden. And so we have engaged in these different areas in order to create a foundation from where to learn more and from where to hopefully generate increased knowledge with the ultimate purpose of making Sweden more competitive, being on that front of the curve that I touched upon, in society, but also on the corporate side. Because at the end of the day, if our companies are not competitive, there are not going to be any jobs. There is not going to be any taxes to be collected to support our society in this very good system that we have in our country. So it's so fundamental that these things really develop and that we are at that frontier that I'm talking about.
Yeah. And that platform and frontier is a fantastic space to be in as well, isn't it? Just providing that platform alone is incredible.
If you can be there,
yeah.
and push and push and push, of course, it's a fantastic opportunity. And we have a number of companies in our country that are at the forefront. And not only the big traditional companies that most people would say I'm engaged in, but I'm talking about the entrepreneurs. I'm talking about the startup scene. I'm talking about that in Sweden today, there is an attitude of that there's an opportunity for everyone. Yeah. You don't only have to be engaged with the large players. Yeah. There are other opportunities as well, and we're trying to capture that as well.
And that entrepreneurial mindset is fantastic for doing that. Of course,
and building that. And the more we can do with that, the better I think it is for our society.
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's very interesting. And I'd like to take the opportunity to ask just another question. The Wallenberg Foundations, you are, of course, very important funders of research, but not only in Sweden. Also in Europe, you're one of the most important. Can you elaborate a little bit on what you are doing in Europe to support these initiatives as well?
Well, in essence, the foundation's bylaws says that we have to support research for the betterment of Sweden. It says so in the deed of gift. in 1917. So what we are trying to do is today, to be a bit modern, is that we support a number of postdocs and research facilities going out of Sweden, but the idea of the researchers, the postdocs, coming back to Sweden in due course. Or we support Swedish universities to actually bring in international researchers to come to Sweden, to live here, so that you have this cross-fertilization, cross-border fertilization. And then we also work very closely with a few key universities in the world. We're working together with Stanford since many years. We're working together with the leading university in Singapore, and then we have collaboration with a number of universities in Europe. So the idea is that the way the world looks like today is a bit different than in 1917. So we're trying to find ways of staying in touch, but ultimately we want that knowledge base to come to our own country.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.